Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm using the same beautiful paper I used yesterday from the Prima Marketing Lavender Paper Pack and the same lavender foil cardstock from Recollections and this absolutely stunningly gorgeous silver luster text weight paper from Paper Temptress and this elegant windmill cutting die from InLoveArts. But I'm not using it as a windmill. I'm going to be cutting out two of them from that gorgeous silk silver luster paper from Paper Temptress, and you will see how I end up using them. Okay, now that I have everything cut out and ready to go, let's get started. So I'm going to move these aside just for a moment to show you that I have a cardstock cut out for the base that is 11 inches by 5.5 inches, and I've scored it right in the middle, and I'm just going to fold that. And I should have brought my bone folder in, but I think this will work for now. Okay, so now my card is 5.5 by 5.5, and I have cut this piece to 5.5 by 5.5. But now I'm going to do my little trick of cutting out the center of it. And to do that, I use this square stitch die. You can use any die you want, even a circle, as long as it leaves you the edges that you want. Or if you don't have dies to do that with, you can always use your paper trimmer or even scissors. And so that leaves me with a beautiful piece of this metallic cardstock that I can use for something else, and it's not going to go to waste. So let me glue this on, and then we will continue. Okay, next I'm going to glue on this top layer, and it does have writing on it, so you need to make sure you're putting it on the way you want to go. So do I want this to be a top fold or a side fold card? And I think I'm going to go for a top fold, so I'm just going to glue that on next. And this is cut a little bit smaller to leave an edge, so instead of being 5.5 by 5.5, I believe I cut this 5 by 5, and I'll show you here in a second just to be sure. You can always do 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, or however you want to create the border that you want. So let me measure this up here, and let me see here. Looks like I did 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, as you can see right over here. So 5 1/4, and I'm going to make sure that I have the writing going the correct direction, and there we go. So we got that on, and now for the fun part. I call it fun because it's not just simply gluing these things on. So that's what we have so far, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. I love this paper pack. Okay, so next we have these two pieces. Now they call this, I think it was a windmill die, because it could be like a windmill, but I have other plans for it. So I'm going to glue these two pieces together, but I'm gluing them so that they're overlapping each other, so that instead of like this, let me move this out of the way so you can see up against the black. Instead of like that, I'm going to turn it a half turn and do it like that, because I think that looks so beautiful. So let me glue that together. And by the way, I wish you could see this. That shimmer is just gorgeous all over this. It is stunning. Oh my gosh. I will be honest with you that a lot of these beautiful papers from Paper Temptress, they just do not show up on camera well. You just can't get the full effect. This is something that you would have to see in person. But I guarantee you would fall in love with it. It is just the most gorgeous stuff I've ever seen, and not just the one that I'm using right now, but several of hers that I use that you've seen in my videos. They are just stunning. Okay, now I'm not going to glue the edges down. I'm only going to glue the center because I like that it's coming up like that. And so I'm just going to put it on there. I want to do it where it looks like, you know, a diamond as opposed to a square. So let me show you. Right there you can see a square, but I want to do it so it's more like a diamond. And I'm going to make sure I get it centered on the card just the way that I want it. So let me get this. I think there's a lot of possibilities with this particular die. I mean, I think there's a lot of possibilities with most of the dies that I get because I like it that way. I like being able to use something more than one way, whether it's a stamp or a die. Otherwise, it's just kind of like, oh, I can only use it for this, and then what? So there that is, and looks like I've got it centered right where I want it. Okay, and then I want to show you, I happen to have a die that is the perfect size. Let me set it on there. The perfect size for the center, and I had thought about cutting out a piece of this paper and sticking it in the center. Then I thought, no, I want to cut out, you know, this really pretty, what is this, kind of a metallic mirrored cardstock and put that in the center. Or maybe, you know, a piece of this beautiful mica cardstock from Paper Temptress and stick that in the middle. But as I got playing around, I really liked it staying white like that and showing that beautiful shimmer, and I did not want to cover that up. I am, however, going to be covering it up with butterfly. And so for the butterfly, I cut two of them because I couldn't decide which. So one of them is with that beautiful metallic cardstock from Recollections, and the beautiful mica cardstock from Paper Temptress. And by the way, I don't have the packaging for this die set. It was gifted to me a few years ago, and it's just stored in my magnetic storage. But I did want to tell you that I don't know for sure the name of this color. So these are both mica cardstocks from Paper Temptress, and one of them is kunzite and one of them is amethyst. And because they're both a really pretty purple lavender color, I'm not sure which is which, but I bet you if you asked Patricia from Paper Temptress, she'd be able to tell you which is which. And I wish that the shimmer would show up on here, but we all know what mica powders do to things, you know, give it that beautiful shimmer. This paper, this cardstock, by the way, it's really nice cardstock, is that same way. So these are my two options, and I have not glued them together yet because I wanted to show you what I did. So there's a top layer, and then the other one is the bottom layer, and I want to put that on there. And so I was thinking about going with that one, with the metallic on the top and the lighter color on the bottom. But then I started thinking that lighter color really blends in a little bit with the white. Not sure if I wanted to do that, so I cut it again. And this time I did the metallic on the bottom and that beautiful either kunzite or amethyst on the top. And I'm going to guess that it's the kunzite. Oops. And so I decided, of course it's wiggling all over, that that's the one that I'm going to use. So I wanted to use the metallic just to bring out, you know, the metallic that is the bottom of this, the bottom layer. I just kind of wanted to bring everything together, and also I thought that this color matched really well with this. So that is what I'm doing, and we're just going to glue this together, and I'm just gluing the center because I want the wings to pop up. And the nice thing is the wings can pop up and then flatten back out in an envelope, and then they can be popped back up when they are taken out. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute because I use Beacon 3-in-1, and I love this. I never have any problems with it. It's acid free, but for some weird reason when it touches this metallic cardstock, it seems to want to take the color off from it. So I don't want to wiggle it around too much while it's drying. So let me let that dry for a second. Okay, I think that's dry enough, and I've got these beautiful lavender gems. I want to stick one right in the middle of this butterfly. I just have to decide. I think that's the size I want right there. And I think it still has enough sticky stuff on the back to go on there. Sometimes they don't stick really well, and then I like to use, you know, some glue. Okay. Lift up those wings a little bit. And we have a beautiful dimensional butterfly. And now I'm going to glue that right on here. Trying to be careful because I'm really not sure how dry that is. Usually beacon dries like almost instantly, but again, on that metallic stuff, it is a little bit different. So let me get some on here. And I had thought of putting it at an angle, then I thought of putting it straight, but you know what? I can't make up my mind. I wish you all were here to tell me what to do. I always like them at an angle, but with this diamond thing in the middle, I'm not sure how that looks. So you know what? I'm going to go straight on. And that may not be my normal choice, but that is the choice I am making right now. Get that on there. And there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. I really love this die. It's almost like a partial doily, but when you put them all together like that, it is just stunning. I love it. I'm pretty sure I'll be using that on many other cards. And so there it is. And you can always put, you know, a sentiment down here, or if you put the butterfly on at a different angle, you know, put a sentiment. But I've decided I don't think I'm going to put a sentiment on the front of this one at all. I think it's just too beautiful, and the recipient can keep this on display as long as she wants if it doesn't have a sentiment, so she doesn't have to go, oh, my birthday's passed, I have to take this down. So that is how I am leaving it, and I will get some pictures for you, but I don't think still pictures are going to do it justice. And so I just wanted to show you different angles of it right now. And I hope that you like it. If you've never checked out InLoveArts before, I hope you use the link below in my description box to visit their shop and see all the wonderful craft supplies they have to offer. And there's also a discount code should you decide to shop there. Also, I have a link to Paper Temptress and a discount code for there as well. And I think you will absolutely love both places, and I hope you check them out. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.